Hey you guys, and welcome back to this video. I am going to be doing a 7-month update for my Bell's palsy. So if you've been around for a while, you know that 7 months ago, I got diagnosed with Bell's palsy on a Sunday morning back in August. It's been a wild journey. Let's just say that. It was Looking back, I can see how people say, like, what a scary situation. But in the moment, I wasn't scared. I was more just like, is this really happening to me? Like, is this something that's really happening right now? And yes, it was. I woke up, went to urgent care just to make sure that everything was fine. I had previously seen a nurse the day before because I had felt some weird symptoms coming on, but I didn't really know what it was. I was not completely paralyzed on my face yet. I felt some weird tingling. I kind of felt like you feel when you come from the dentist. But I hadn't been to the dentist. And so we just got checked up really quickly. And she was like, you could be having Bell's palsy, but you'll know tomorrow. Um, so that's what we did. I went to sleep that night and woke up the next morning, and the completely right side of my face was just gone. Like, I could not move any of it. And so as you can see right now, I have definitely recovered for the most part. I say I'm between like 90 and 95% back to normal. I still have some movement that hasn't come back. But for the most part, I can almost get all of my wrinkles up here. And I can definitely blink like normal. I haven't had to sleep with my eye taped for a couple of months now, which has been really nice. But my smile isn't completely back. And when I smile right now, this eye twitches a lot, which you probably can't see, but I can feel it. And then this side of my face just feels really tight right now. It's a little tingly, but for the most part, it's just really tight. And so I've been massaging it a lot just through manual stimulation, just massaging it like in circles. We have a massage gun that I will actually put on my face and massage. It looks a little barbaric, but it feels really good. Has it done anything? I couldn't tell you, but it feels really good. It feels like it helps to relax those muscles, because it feels like right now they're kind of over contracting and trying to overwork, even though they're not working 100%, if that makes sense. So yeah, basically what I'm just going to do is kind of go back to the beginning and give you a brief overview of what I have done or what I did do in the beginning and what I've been doing now to just continue my healing, making sure that I'm continuing to take care of myself, continuing to support my immune system, because personally, my theory as to why my Bell's palsy came on, ultimately came down to an immune system issue and a stress issue. So my stress was getting out of control. I thought I was handling it fine. I clearly was not. And that stress lowered my immune system to the point where it just could not fight off whatever virus or bacteria or whatever it is that they think causes Bell's palsy. Not to talk about viruses or anything right now, but that is what they believe causes it. They think a virus attacks the nerve, and that is what causes the paralysis. Now, nerve damage is very, very, very slow to heal. It happens really fast. Literally, there's damage to the nerve and it stops moving, but the recovery to heal that nerve takes much, much, much longer, which is why for some, it takes so much longer to recover than others. I know some people who said that they were fine within 10 days. Some people who have reached out to me and said, I've had it for 4 years and I'm still suffering the consequences. So I think everyone is different. What the one root main cause is, I don't know if we'll ever know. Bell's palsy was one of those things that not enough people get, so they're not going to put a lot of time, money, and effort behind figuring it out, unfortunately. But that doesn't mean that you can't put time money and effort behind figuring out for yourself. I know when it all happened, I kind of took a step back, took everything off of my plate, which I am blessed that I was able to do, and went and tried different wellness modalities that I had been wanting to try and just had never gotten around to doing. And I am so grateful that I was able to go do that, because now I have that experience in my back pocket and can share it with you guys. I went and got acupuncture for the first time, which I loved. I did acupuncture for a really long time, probably around 4 months. I would go twice a week for 4 months when it first settled in, and then I stopped around the holidays. Just because the reason I stopped is because when I was going, I wasn't feeling that sense of like relaxation and healing that I was prior. And so to me, that was just a sign that like maybe we need to pull back a little bit and just kind of let my face heal and not really do anything with it or bug it or something like that. So that's personally just what I felt, but I loved acupuncture. I recommend it to everybody who gets Bell's palsy. And even if you don't, if you need something to just kind of help de-stress, I loved it. So I did acupuncture twice a week. I did IV therapy. In the beginning, they were phenomenal because they would give me some steroids, which would help with the pain, a little bit of painkillers, which intravenously I prefer, because then it's not having to go into my gut and kill the good bacteria that is helping to produce anti-inflammatory properties for me. So I did that a few times. I went to the infrared sauna. I did hyperbaric oxygen therapy. I did craniosacral therapy. I did vitamin therapy with high dose of like B12, which I'm still doing. Vitamin B vitamins are really important for nerve regeneration, especially B12, which is why I've been doing high doses, and it makes me feel really good. High doses of vitamin D, again, to support my immune system. And I did notice when I started increasing my vitamin D, my energy levels seemed to come back fairly quickly, which was really nice, because not only was my face paralyzed, but I also felt kind of like low grade sick. Not sick in the sense of like I was coughing, I had a fever, I had body aches or anything like that, but just my energy was so low. It was kind of just like I just didn't feel good. And there was really no reason other than my Bell's palsy. But like if I didn't have my Bell's palsy, it was just kind of weird how I felt. And so once I started to do the vitamin D, do the B vitamins, everything seemed to kind of come up, which was really, really nice. So I did that. I saw my chiropractor, who also does kinesiology and muscle testing, and she was able to just test my body and see what was going on. She said my nervous system was totally shot. My adrenals were totally shot. And so, yeah, she helped to support me in different ways through that. And then just really feeding myself well, eating really good, wholesome, healthy foods, taking care of myself. Creating a morning routine has been so immensely helpful. Get up in the morning, I sit on my couch, I turn on my heated blanket, and I do my morning devotional. I have prayer time. I write out some affirmations, and that has really, really helped me as far as with like my mental health and dealing with all of this, especially in the beginning when I could not move my face at all. I couldn't smile, and smiling is one of those things that I do often. Like my smile is kind of like part of my identity. And it was really hard in the beginning because I was like, you get into this negative headspace of what if this never goes away and this is your new normal? And I kind of had to come to terms with understanding that even if that was my new normal and that became my new normal and I never healed, it did not affect my worth as a human and my worthiness to be loved, which was something I really needed to learn. I was putting all of my worth into my works, meaning if I did not get everything on my to-do list done, if I did not run myself ragged and make sure that I could say, I did this, 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 I felt unworthy as a human being of being loved. And I think a lot of us struggle with that because, especially as women, we're doers, we're givers, we take care of people. Like, that is just innately in us, and it can get really muddled sometimes. And we can overdo it and overdo it and overdo it and not take a step back and realize that we need to take care of ourselves first. So that has been hugely, hugely helpful. I cannot recommend it enough. If you are somebody that needs help creating a morning routine, I highly recommend Danica Brescia. She is what got me started with morning routines and just doing her self-care checklist. I will tag her in this video, but I believe she has some free resources or resources for you to get started on doing a morning routine. And especially right now with so many people working at home, a morning routine is so, so vital, you guys, and it really puts you in such a good headspace for the rest of the day. Like, I notice such a difference when I do it versus when I don't, and how much I get done in that day. Not saying that I'm like going back into my old ways of getting my to-do list done, but just how productive I am in that day. And even if it's only 3 things that I get done, they get done so much better that day that I did my morning routine than when I didn't do my morning routine. So I cannot recommend her enough. She's a good friend. I will tag her. Go check her out and go check out her resources to get started on a morning routine. I did not see significant improvement until about the end of month 3 going into month 4, you guys. I was seeing these people saying they had it for 10 days to 2 weeks to 14 to 2 weeks and 14 days is the same thing, to 2 months, 3 months. And I started to get really discouraged. I'm like, holy crap, I'm going to be that like 1% that never fully heals. And I was just like, no, I can do this. It's going to be okay. I was still doing acupuncture at the time. I was doing like my exercises in the mirror where I would like look at myself and I would like make myself smile and like lift up my eyebrow. And one night I was sitting doing some of that massage and like stimulation. And I was like, okay, we're going to try this. And I just tried to briefly do one of these. And this cheek moved. And it was just like, I was like, oh my God. I look over to my husband and I go, did you see that? You saw that, right? It moved, right? I know it moved. And it did move. And that is the muscle that I think is kind of like overworking now, which I don't care. I'm like so grateful that it is moving, but now it kind of is like that main muscle that's moving. So I think that's what's creating some tightness. But if you are in the thick of this and you feel like it is totally hopeless, hang in there. I am on month 7. I'm not fully recovered, but I still see little improvements every day. So I saw that major improvement in month 4, and then month 4 and 5 were like big months for me. I started to see the most improvement, the most movement. And then month 6 kind of slowed down, but what I did get back are these wrinkles. I notice that I can really, I'll get closer to the camera, but I can lift this eye so much better now. And I wasn't able to do that. And when I talk a lot or when I get a little tired, my muscles get a little tired as well. And so I'm not always able to lift it as high as some moments, but it's moving and it's there, and that's positive, and you got to take the positive with the negative. So that is what I have seen so far. If I smile in certain ways, you can't even tell. Even some people to this day are like, I can't even tell. And I think they're trying to make you feel better. And yes, in a way that does make you feel better, but you can tell. Like, you live with yourself, you know what it feels like. And that's the other thing. Like, this side of my face still feels so much slower than this side of my face. And so that is just kind of something, I don't know if I'm going to have to deal with it for the rest of my life. I don't know. It's one of those things. Bell's palsy, like I said, isn't researched very much, and there's not a lot known about it. And so people can't really tell you, it'll go away, it won't go away, so on and so forth. So we're just kind of taking it one day at a time, 1 week at a time, 1 month at a time. But I have seen improvement. Like, I've improved, you guys. It has been 7 months. It has taken a while, but hang in there. If I had to look back and change anything as far as my treatment goes, I think the only thing I would change is I would find a doctor who was willing to listen to me. I had just gone to that one urgent care doctor, and he prescribed steroids and an antiviral. I don't think the antiviral really did anything. The steroid, though, I do think helped a lot, because that first week I didn't have much pain. And then once I finished the steroid, going into that second week, I had a lot of pain. Luckily, the IV that I was doing, they were able to give me a little, like some steroids, but obviously I didn't go every single day, so I wasn't able to get them every single day. But I feel like being on a 10-day round of steroids might have been helpful, as opposed to I think it was like 4 or 5 days that I was given, the round of steroids that I was given. And the reason I say that is because the root cause of what's going on is, what they think is there's a virus that has attacked the nerve and it's causing inflammation. And that inflammation is what is impinging on the nerve and causing that damage. And that damage is what is paralyzing whatever side of the face it is. And so it's important to get that inflammation down so that the nerve can be released and not have as much damage. And so how I felt is, if I had gotten another round of steroids, we could have prevented more inflammation from happening and less damage from happening, and therefore less recovery time. Now, that is my own hypothesis. Whether or not that is scientifically true or not, I have no idea. But innately, that's what I feel is true for me, and that is what I am telling you guys. Not saying that should be true, that's true for you, but I feel like it was true for me. And so that is key, though. If you are in the midst of it, if you just got diagnosed, getting that inflammation down is so, so key. Turmeric really helps with inflammation, that curcumin. If you want to do high doses of that with the steroid, that probably would have been a good call for me to do as well. I know I did some turmeric. Again, I don't know if I did high enough doses, but that is really the only thing, looking back, that I would change. So yeah, I hope that's helpful. I know if you are in the thick of it, you just want answers. And unfortunately, I can't give you those answers as far as like how much longer, is it going to come back? I can't give you any of that, but I can give you tools that have helped me. And so, yeah, that is what I'm here to do. I would love to, like, if you need somebody to reach out to talk to, I am here for you. You can message me. If you have specific questions, and we can chat. I am going to check. I did a post on my Instagram and asked if anybody had any questions. I would be happy to answer them here on this video. And so I am just going to check that and see if there's any questions I need to answer really quick. Okay, so... And some of you, like, are warriors, man. Like, some of you have told me that you got it while you were pregnant, or right after you were pregnant, or during labor. Like, God bless you. Like, holy moly. Some of you have said you've gotten it twice. Some of you told me you got it as a little kid when you were like 13 in middle school. And like, that's rough. Like, yeah, it's rough regardless. But when you're a little kid and other kids don't realize what's going on, like, they're mean. And so the fact that you got through that, like, holy moly. So Evelyn asked, did you see any progress in this last month? I've had Bell's palsy for 6 months And after 5 months, I stopped seeing progress. And I've read that after 6 months progress, minimal at best. And so like I said, I didn't see a whole lot, but then one day all of my wrinkles came back. And so I would say, like, don't lose hope. Don't let somebody tell you that you're not going to keep healing. Don't let that thought get into your head, because then it will stunt your progress. It is something that I have thought about too, because I'm like, well, I feel like most of the time they say it takes between 1 to 6 months to fully recover, and I'm past that 6 months. I am talking to a chiropractor, like physical therapist, soon, to ask them if there are certain exercises I should be doing now that I can actually move my face, as compared to the exercises they give you typically when you first get Bell's palsy, where like you can't move your face and you're moving it. So I will keep you guys posted as to what she tells me. But don't give up hope. Don't let yourself think that you're going to have minimal progress, because that's just not going to do you any good. Somebody said, I always thought this condition was a short-term thing, a month max. Could you share more what causes it? Why some bounce back and it takes longer for others? I think it just goes back to, again, how quickly you get that inflammation down, because, again, the damage to the nerve is what has to heal in order for the movement to come back. And when I went to the neurologist, he told me that for every 3 centimeters of damage to a nerve, it takes 30 days for that damage to heal. How many centimeters of damage I had, I could not tell you. Clearly it was a lot more than 3, but that's what he told me. So I think it really just depends on how severe the damage is for each individual. One other thing that a lot of people have recommended too is Botox. I have not explored that avenue yet. I have had someone say who did Botox said that it helped them immensely. I am going to explore it once I talk to the physical therapist. I think I'm going to see what she says. And then once I get that information, I'm going to see if Botox is like, I do want to learn about it and understand kind of like what they would do to help. So yeah, I think everyone's just kind of commenting with what they found helpful. So if you want to go to my post and check that out, you can go scroll through all of that. But yeah, I think that's about it. I don't see any more questions. Okay. All right, you guys, well, I'm going to wrap up this video. If you have questions, you can throw them in the comment section below this video. You can also send me a message. As always, click that follow button if you haven't, so you get notified when I upload some more videos and post. And other than that, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being along this journey with me. I love you guys so much, and I will see you later. Mwah. Bye.